عنده قنابل صوتية هذا.
All right, folks, that's the terrible terrorist attack in Tunisia the other day. And joining us now is Anjem Choudary, Muslim cleric from Great Britain, Islamic activist, lecturer in Sharia law. Welcome back to the show, sir.
You're welcome.
All right, so let me ask you, do you condemn that attack on the beach in Tunisia that killed so many tourists and others laying on the beach?
Well, you know, Steve, you've had me on your program many times, and I don't go down this road of condemnation or condoning. I think we should talk about the root causes, because what you saw the other day in Tunisia, sadly, is happening on a daily basis in Syria, in Iraq. Drones are killing innocent people, hitting weddings, hitting funerals. You know, this is something that we see on a daily basis.
Do you condemn the drones? Do you condemn the drones that you say? Let me give you.
Nobody asks about condemnation for those, do they? Really?
Well, let me ask you. Do you condemn? I'll for the sake of argument, concede your point. If that's happening, as you say, do you condemn the drones killing people at weddings?
Of course.
All right. Well, So then why can't you? Okay. Then why can't you condemn the terror? You said you don't condemn things. You just did. So why can't you?
Well, I condemn the oppressor. It's not the same, you know. There's
not the
cause
same.
and effect. I can condemn the cause of this, which is the occupation of Muslim land, which is the killing of innocent people, you know, in
Who's
Syria
occupying Tunisia?
No, what you fail to understand is that the people who were targeted, and I don't have the full picture incidentally, but the people who I see were targeted are the civilians from those regimes who are killing Muslims from Britain, from France, from America, etc., in Syria and Iraq. And quite frankly, you know, 100 or 1,000 times more people have been slaughtered at the hands of the coalition. Okay. And by the way, you know, they're not occupying, you know, France or Britain. The French and British and other forces are occupying Muslim land. Okay. And they're killing them on their own soil. So obviously there's an uprising taking place. At the current time in the Muslim world, there's instability. And my message is very clear, Steve. The instability in Muslim countries is something which is caused by the presence of foreign forces. And this, as a consequence, causes insecurity for the civilians of those very countries who are engaged in war with Muslims, whether it's back home.
Then why do Muslims kill each other?
Which Muslims are killing each other?
The different sects, the Shiite and they're not killing each other in Muslim countries?
Steve, don't be confused with Israel. The Muslims are not killing each other.
They're not. Muslims aren't blowing. Hold it. Wait. Muslims are not killing. So you're saying, I just want to get this clear. The Kuwait Mosque, for instance, Muslims are not killing other Muslims. That's what you're saying.
No, they're not killing other Muslims. The Shia are Ta'ifat al-Kufr. They are a non-Islamic sect. And they are the ones who are killing Muslims, for example, in Syria. The Nusayri regime, they were raping children in front of their grandparents and vice versa. Of course, when they get caught, they're going to face capital punishment.
What do you think of ISIS?
Doing the same. The Iranians are doing the same. How many Muslim mosques have been bombed by the Qatari and the Saudi regime, who are obviously allied with the Americans, and the Shia who are fighting the Muslims? We are retaliating. This is called cause and effect, Steve. You know, you need to start to get used to kind of like reaction.
Well, the problem is you also said that the guy who shot up the beach didn't like the fact that, or maybe didn't like the fact that they were laying naked on the beach or drinking alcohol, which is a far cry from they represent countries that are occupying Arab lands. So you mean someone on the beach that's drinking alcohol might be at risk of getting killed because a Muslim doesn't like it?
You know, Steve, as a supporter of Israel, I can see why
I'm reading from your quote. I'm reading your quote. Why can't you answer without referring to Israel?
Let me tell you something, Steve. The fact is that these people in Tunisia on the beach weren't targeted because they were laying naked and drinking alcohol.
You're the one who said it.
Which are, quite frankly, if you just allow me to finish, which are quite frankly a complete anathema to Islam and Muslims. What ISIS have said, and obviously what I've heard as far as the individual is concerned, that these people were targeted because they are the civilians from the regimes who are killing Muslims. Now, you know, you may distinguish between military and civilians, but from an Islamic perspective, from the people who are fighting, they're not making this distinction. They're saying that the regime which is put in place by the civilians are equally culpable. Now, you know, as far as I'm concerned, as I've said to you many times, Steve, I'm not going to Tunisia. I'm not killing anyone. I'm not laying on the beach naked. And I have a covenant of security here in Britain. In return for my life and wealth being protected, I don't believe we target the life and the wealth of others. But you need to start to understand what's taking place in the Muslim world. And it's caused, as I say, by the foreign policies of countries like France and Britain and America.
All right, let me ask you this. There's a threat of a terrorist attack here in the U.S. We're on high alert for the 4th of July weekend. If we get hit here, do we deserve it?
Well, you know, I think that most Americans will understand that the reason why you have a very high security status at the current time is because you've been throwing bricks at other people's houses.
But answer my question. Do we deserve it? If we get hit, will you say we deserve it?
Of course, the American establishment and the regime who are sending people to murder Muslims, they should, of course, have the highest security alert, because obviously there's a cause and effect. What did Britain do in the Second World War? They bombed Dresden.
So your answer, your answer is yes.
Steve, I made myself absolutely clear that there will be cause and effect. You know it very well. Why did 9/11 happen? 9/11 didn't start, you know, history didn't begin on 9/11 or 7/7. Okay. There was a precursor to that, which is the occupation of the Muslim land, the support for the pirate state of Israel. I know you like Israel, Steve, but you know,
I love Israel, Jim. You know why? They don't kill gays. They don't stone women. I love Israel. I love it.
Steve, quite frankly, but the Americans and their friends, the Israelis, obviously there will be repercussions.
Right, the Israelis. Okay.
Let
me ask you another question. There was a poll done by the Clarion Institute here in Muslims in America. Over 50% said that they would welcome Sharia law, and 25% say that they have a little problem with violence against Americans. Do you believe that that's accurate?
I believe it should be 100%. I'm surprised.
Do you believe it's accurate?
Worthy of the name. No, I don't think it's accurate. I think a lot more Muslims want the Sharia, quite frankly. Because the Sharia is the Quran, the Sharia is the Sunnah of the Prophet. Why would any Muslim say, no, I don't want the Sharia? We are not like the Christians and Jews who have changed their books and throw behind them, you know, verses like Leviticus and say man can marry man. No, the Quran is unchangeable. It was written down, it's inimitable. We cannot change it. That is the Sharia. Tell me one person who is worthy of the name Muslim who says, I don't want the Quran or the Sunnah of the Prophet.
Let me ask you one other question. You got Obama changed the policy on negotiating. Families could pay ransom now to groups like ISIS who take Americans prisoner or hostage. Do you believe that that's going to put more Americans in danger and more Americans will be kidnapped and taken hostage by terrorist groups?
No, I reckon that the Americans have probably done what the Italians have done before and many other regimes, is that they realize that there are many Muslims who are kept hostage by their own regimes. Look what's happening in Guantanamo Bay. I think this is a good opportunity for the Americans to exchange Muslims for their own citizens who may be in danger or in captivity around the Muslim world. This is I think, Barack Obama beginning to realize that the interests of the Americans in the Muslim world is being affected by his very vicious foreign policy. Okay. And he wants to backtrack a little bit.
So one more chance. We got less than a minute left. One more chance to say that the killing of those innocent people in Tunisia was wrong.
Well, you know, I think the killing of innocent people in Iraq and Syria is wrong.
Yes, that you said. Yes, that you said. But you won't say that the killing of the people in Tunisia, you say I don't condemn. But you do condemn selectively. You selectively condemn.
And the injustice, and I deal with the root cause. When we deal with that, there will be peace around the world. You and me, Steve, we can live under the Sharia peacefully.
Never. And you know what?
It's coming to America, Steve.
It's not coming to America, my friend.
Look out of your window.
Neither are you, by the way. Neither are you, thankfully.
I've been there already, by the way.
Well, you're not coming back, I can tell you that.
You never know.
All right, Anjem Choudary, thank you. Good to talk to you for another time. And by the way, folks, the Malzberg panel will be next, and we're going to have a lot to talk about with said panel right here on the Steve Malzberg Show. Don't go away.